Hello, everyone. This is Stock Market Daily. Thank you for joining me today. It is April 25th, 2023. As always, this is not financial advice. Please don't copy my trading strategies because you will lose money. This is only for educational purposes. Okay, so looking at the SPX chart here, you could see clearly that we had a really rough day, down 1.58% for the day. So I believe part of the reason why we gapped down and we're down pre-market and continue the trend lower today is because FRC's First Republic Bank, FRC, reported earnings yesterday evening, and they were poor. But most importantly, they did not have a Q&A session with the analysts that were probably had a lot of questions on the bank's health. So that sparked a lot of fear in investors, and on some news outlets I heard them talk about it today as well. And most likely this is the reason why we had such a big down day. Additionally, I believe China was down as well, so that did not help. Also, as well, we have been kind of staying in the same level, and there should have been at least some move up or down at some point. It just so happened that this was the result probably of, one, the fear of having another bank go under, and two, we just needed to pick a direction here at some point sooner or later. So um, I think nobody really expected the downtrend to be so aggressive, but that's what we were dealt with today. Additionally, I want to mention that if you look at the way the trading was happening today, every single time we spent quite a bit of time building up, going up, and it was just completely rejected and decimated with these big red candles. So we spent a lot of time building up, one, two, and we're much lower. Spent a lot of time, big green candle even here, and it takes one, two, three red candles to bring us back down, and just a couple more here as well to hit a new low. Especially towards the end of the day, you could clearly see that, if you expand this even more, you'll see that the green candles, are taking 5 to 6 minutes on the greens and 1 or 2 on the reds. So I don't know, maybe big institutional sellers are selling, or something else is going on, but it just felt like, you can't. Every time we got bid up, it was a big smackdown, like sit down, we're going down. Um, so yeah, I mean, it was a little rough, and this is a trend I should have noticed a little earlier when I was going to get out of my positions. However, I was waiting for that late, before market close rally that we've had for the past, I don't know, 5 days or so, right? We've had such a nice close every single time that I was just waiting for it and kind of ignoring the fact that every single time we built up our kind of losses, they were immediately rejected. And that's just the nature of today. So a new low, but with this new low, we are there's good news. We are going to see higher premium in the SPX options and in options overall. So if you're a seller of options, this is good news. And this is kind of what has been, the issue over the past week or so is the low premium in the options. And speaking of low premium and volatility and things like that, VIX 1 day is live. I forgot to mention this yesterday, and it's VIX1D. And you could see that it opened up yesterday. And in fact, oddly enough, it's showing less of volatility pre-market when we gapped down, but that closed the gap. And you could see as we were trending down, this VIX 1-day was trending upwards significantly. So we should see more premium in the options here in the next couple of days, as long as it is, the market kind of has some more fears, I guess. But you could see that this is where we closed right here. And you could see that it has already dropped. And this is because we got earnings from Microsoft and Google, and both of those were pretty good. The stocks, last time I checked, were up. So I believe that's why we have a drop in the VIX. So we'll see where we are going to open up tomorrow. Now, let's take a look at the trades. And this is today's day. There were puts that were placed, but you don't see any of them because they all had to be rolled over till tomorrow. There's 2 calls only, unfortunately. And the way that the day started with a gap down, I immediately sold calls that open, and I actually wanted to sell more. However, it just never got filled. So the idea was to sell the calls first thing, because we gapped down and we potentially were going to go down even more. So these 2 calls at 41.40 were sold, and 2 of them were sold for $135 per option. And the rest were essentially canceled later in the day because they never got filled. So as I waited for the market to go down a little bit, and when it did slightly, I started selling my puts. And the first one I entered was the 41.05, which is way in the money here. And I sold 2 of those, unfortunately, and they were $310 per option at that time. And obviously I rolled them to 4,100 for tomorrow, and I collected $15 on that roll. So not much collected, and that's partly because, and that's my fault, I should have realized the trend that I talked about earlier, and I should have rolled them when I had the chance. And I was going to roll them from 41.05 to 40.95 for tomorrow, and I could have collected actually $60 on that roll. But with the market starting to break down, I was only able to roll it to 4,100, and I was only able to collect $15 on that roll. So that was that. Now the next option that I sold was the 40.95 level, and for that one I collected $215, and that one I was able to roll to 40.85 for tomorrow. And on that roll, I collected $115 additional. So the next one I sold was 40.85 today. And on that one, I collected $115. And I really thought that we're not going to get to this level today whatsoever. This was just kind of like, hey, easy $115. But unfortunately, it did go in the money, and I rolled that out all the way to 40.65 for tomorrow. So all the way here, and on that roll, I collected $150. So all those options are here. There's all 4 of them, and I am unable to sell any more put options tomorrow. So tomorrow I will only be able to sell call options if I'm able to. Which I'm sure I will sell a few. I don't know how many, because one thing I don't want to do is to get myself in a position where, we have this V-shaped quick bounce, and basically kind of get caught up into and get, if we start going up tomorrow, I don't want to be caught on the call side, trapped on the call side. If there's more positive earnings, like from Microsoft and Google, if Apple and Amazon and Meta start reporting good earnings, we could break out to 4,200, and those options will be hard to roll, because when if we start going up, we will also have, once again, much less premium in the options. So again, it's going to be harder to roll. So just just something to keep in mind. Um, One other thing I also forgot to mention yesterday was um, I finally closed out of my credit spread that was on May 5th. And this credit spread was for, let me expand here. So the credit spread was for 4,325. This one right here. Let me take a little more. I'll just do 200. So I sold this option. Where is it? Right there. So I sold this option right here, and I bought this option right there. And that credit spread was entered about 15 days ago. And I this option at 43.25 was worth about $95 at market close yesterday, and I ended up buying it back just in case the earnings were good and we started to trend upwards. So I ended up buying it back. Obviously, completely opposite picture now, but I figured that I collected the most of the premium, which was about $1,000, and there was really no point of holding it anymore. There was another 15 days left on this option, so I ended up just buying it back. I have another one of these that is also still going, and you can see here I have the 4,300 level, and I bought the 4,600. So this one is also doing very good. I believe this one is already up 1,000. There's two options here, but per option, I believe it's up 1,100 and something. So if tomorrow we have another down day, or if we have a day that is going to be, not much movement, and if this option drops below 100, I'm going to buy it back. I'm going to get rid of it. There's no point of holding it at this point. There is, quite a bit of time left on this option, and the theta is really dropping. It's dropping to $25 a day. So I don't believe that there's really a point to hold this. So, but I'm going to then probably wait until more of the earnings are over, and we do have Powell after earnings, or sometime when there's still going to be some earnings. So I may wait until that is going to be kind of over and done with, and I'll enter in more of these credit spreads here. So that's it for today. Going to be an exciting day tomorrow and the rest of the week. Do join me for tomorrow, and I do these videos every single day. Thank you. Bye-bye.